Hey guys, hi YouTube. So I have another video for you, but before I get into it, it's so annoying. You try to do a video and things are just, I don't know what's going on with it. It's just freezing and all that. And I'm thinking it's my computer. Okay, just.
Yeah. And before I get into the video, I wanted to share with you guys the Starbucks refreshers. Like these are really cool, you guys. They have less calories and they don't give you that sick feeling. You know that feeling you have when you have an energy drink and you didn't eat food or anything, like your stomach starts turning, like you feel like you want to throw up. It doesn't, and I really like this, and they taste pretty good. But I don't like the ones from the store, like the ones they mix for you. I don't like those. They don't taste as good as this. And it says 60 calories, so I'm like, yeah, definitely cool. Give you a little boost of energy when you don't want too much. You don't want the full like coffee, whatever. I really like it. So let's get into the video. The video I'm going to title is that college is hard, and going to school in general is hard. And definitely, you guys already know I just finished and I'm going back, and it's been a journey. Um, and first of all, I want to say, be patient and yeah, you're gonna have some obstacles on the road, and there are days when you're just gonna be so exhausted, you're gonna be overwhelmed, and you just feel like, you know, quitting. And I had some of those days when I was going to school. Well, I'm still, yeah, I have those days. And the first thing I want to say is if you have a great support team and a great environment, it's awesome. When I say that, I mean you have people that are in your corner, people that are supportive, that want you to grow and want you to do well and want you to finish up so you can, better yourself and have a career and etc. And you have people, for example, like husbands and siblings that are willing to help you maybe babysit the kids while you go to the library. You have moms that are, dinner is ready when you get home so you don't have to worry about it, kind of thing. Boyfriends that are like, hey, I know who also go to school, who are like, hey, I know what you're going through and I'm here for you whenever you need and whatever. So that's what I mean by support team. And also an environment where, people support school and people support education as being important. There's some families that where people never went to college and they don't really look at it as something that's important. They just say, well, you're going to school, oh, well, yeah, she's going to school, he's going to school. What's the big deal? Like that kind of thing. And that's really hard. As I already told you guys, like my whole family, everybody went to school. My mom didn't get a chance to go because she was in Africa and she didn't really have the fees, whatever. But everybody in my family is pretty much going to school. And so for me, going to school was like, or college or university was just like, just it was easy, because I already knew kind of the routes and I knew what to expect, kind of. I knew, like, tips here and there and etc. So, it made it easier. But for some people, they don't get that. And some people don't have those supportive people that I said. You are just on your own. And it can be really a challenge. And I have a friend who is just now starting school. And she was overwhelmed, because she's like, okay, the teachers asked me to go do this and do that. And I'm like, what, how do I do this? And a lot of people, like the first few times you start school or going to university or college, you start like, you're like, how do I do that? What? And it's like a learning experience. And once I learned stuff, I was passing it on to people. Like if you ask me something, I would tell you where the library was and that kind of stuff. Some people don't even know all that stuff. And I know people are like, well, that's simple, you should know. But some people don't, and they never really get a chance to learn. So I just want to say that college is hard, and I want to definitely tell this video that I had times when I felt like I was having a breakdown. Like, you put like effort, and when you get the results, you're like, why did I just get an F or a D on an exam, for example? Those things really take you make you feel so bad that you just feel like, I don't know. Well, for me, like the day, the world's gonna end. Well, you get over the next day because you got to move on, but like for me, I'm the type of person that I never like miss classes. I'm always taking notes and all that stuff. Like you do the right things and then you find that your results are not that and you get so upset and you're like, why did this happen? So you're gonna have a lot of those days and you're definitely gonna have tears. I had like, I think I can count, I think how many times I think it was twice. And one was basically I put so much effort into this one class that when I got a D, I just went outside and tears just fell out of my eye because I was like, wow, really? And yeah.
Another one was a really class that was, it was like stats or something, and it was really challenging. And when I did it, I worked, I like didn't even sleep, and turned in this big project, and found out that I was getting an F on it, and I was not going to pass the class. Once again, I went outside and I was in tears. So you're definitely gonna have those moments. You're gonna have a lot of things going on in your life, and you're like, I'm supposed to hang in there and finish this and do that, because some people think, when you say you're going to school, it's like, oh, school, you just go and sit on a desk and have a good time. That's what some people think, but it's really not that. It's like so much going on. You already have your life going on, and for example, having a relationship, and you have school, and for example, you have kids. It's like you have to balance all that. And some teachers act like, other people don't have a life, and but to devote fully to their class. And that really annoys me sometimes, because some teachers really get it. They're like, I used to be a student, I understand. But some just do not, and they don't care, which I know they're not supposed to care, because you're there, you've made it. Yeah. So it's really hard sometimes. You're going to have some breakdowns. I definitely did. Um, some subjects are not as hard. Like for community college, when I was going, it was a breeze for me. But when I got to university, and it was a quarter system, meaning classes were like 2 months, it got kind of intense, because all I did was school, school. Like I had no breaks, because an exam was like, you start a class, the next 2 weeks you have an exam, and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even get a chance to get comfortable. And things are like you're just on your own, and the teachers are of course there to help you, blah blah blah, but you really, the university is like, you're an adult, you take care of what you need to take care of. Like missing one class, for example, on my quarter system totally messed me up, and I was like, wow. And the first quarter I learned my lessons, and the next time I was on it. Like I didn't mess up at all, like nothing. I was on it. I was like, this is what you need to do. Okay, I got it. um and for example, I think somebody posted a comment on another person's video talking about how do you balance like a relationship, for example, while going to school. Was not easy, because first of all, the other person, for example, if they're going to school, it's perfect. They understand where you're coming from. But if they don't go to school, you have to totally explain to them that you are going to need time to be devoted to your studies and all that. I mean, they're there and you're going to be loving and all that, but they need to realize that this is also important, something that you want to do in your life. And it's hard, especially like, for example, my boyfriend is doing something like accounting, which is intense. I mean, one problem for homework takes like hours, and I'm like, for me, on the other hand, my subjects were not that intense. So when he tells me, hey, I need time, I'm going to be at the library for this, and I'm like, wow, what about me, and you know so it takes somebody who understands that. Some people just don't get it, and they actually have fights. Some girl was joking about her boyfriend not understanding that she's going to school, and they had to break up over it. Some people don't get it, and you need to be with people that are on the same page with you. They know what your goals are and all that. um the tears, yeah, you can have a few, but you know what? You get up and you try it again, and whatever. The next, if I know sometimes you have to drop a class and come back to it again. You might have to, because there's just some classes that are just not meant for, like, I just put a little bit of time. Like, for example, I used to pass exams. Gotta look at my time there. Pass exams, for example, PowerPoint slides, but that didn't cut it for some classes. I couldn't do that. I actually had to be in a lecture. I had to read and all that. So you have to know what classes are what and what is required, because some you can kind of get away with it a little bit. But first, college in general, you need time. And a lot of people are multitasking. Moms, for example, they have kids going on. A lot is going on in your world and in your life, and here you have school as well. It's also part of that circle, things that you have to do. So balance, you got to find that, and really have supportive people, and be ready for having some meltdowns where you feel like, man, I did that and all I get was this. Like, yeah, I had those frustrations. What else? But it did help also that the people that so they kind of helped me out a lot, and I knew what to expect. um well, I also have my boyfriend, who I can also, he can help me a little bit. Some subjects are just really intense. So just to end this video, just to say that college, going to school, is difficult and it's time consuming, and you also have life going on, and you have to figure out how you balance it all. Sometimes they always say that there's no such thing as multitasking, because when you're doing one thing, the energy kind of flows to another and you abandon one. So you could be getting all A's, but your relationship is falling apart. So it's almost like that. Something's got to give, and You have to figure it out how it's going to work out, but it was tough. I had some tough hard times that I was like, I felt like giving up and just changing my major, for example. But you know what, I stuck with it. I said, you know what, I'll just get this degree and then I'll do something else, because there were sometimes I was like, stats drove me nuts. Anyway, so that was a video. See you guys in the next one.